Because if we try to look too far in advance, I think that's where, you have moments in today or yesterday that don't go the way that they should.
Okay, so by now y'all probably seen Dwayne Wade going crazy over the Haliburton game winner.
Come on! Oh! Superstar!
Are you too high on Tyrese Haliburton? I've been seeing some reckless tweets. I mean, people talking about he's better than Steph Curry, talking about he's better than LeBron if he wins this first championship. It was extremely impressive, but we gotta really find a metric for determining a superstar. I posted a poll asking the people on my channel if Tyrese Haliburton was a superstar. 80% of them said yes. I mean, look, in Game 5 versus the Bucks.
Here we go! Haliburton. 5 seconds, 4 seconds, Haliburton for the lead.
Then against the Cavs.
Carlisle's gonna let him play. Haliburton steps back and hits.
That boy cold. Then against the Knicks.
He'll take it. He'll backpedal a 3 for the win. And he got it.
And yes, that wasn't a game winner, but it was to tie the game in overtime, which they did end up winning. Yeah, that one could have backfired on them. But then the other night against the Oklahoma City Thunder.
Haliburton looking. Haliburton driving, pulls up, jump shot. It's good! It's good! With 3/10 of a second remaining.
So now we got to ask ourselves, as a superstar, is it just about hitting game winners? I mean, take for instance guys like Robert Horry.
Hunter on Parker. Here's Ginobili.
Oh,
to Horry for 3. Oh, unbelievable. This guy is off the charts. Robert Horry.
Back when he was with the Spurs, back when he was with the Lakers, he hit so many big shots, they called him Big Shot Bob. Is he a superstar? For me, there's no way I would call Robert Horry a superstar. He's an incredible role player. And I think most NBA fans would agree. But most NBA fans would say that Tyrese Haliburton does more than Robert Horry. So let's look at another example. How about Chris Paul? One of the best point guards we've ever seen. He's pretty clutch.
Wants to drive. Floats in, scores the bucket. And another big clutch time bucket.
Pretty lethal from the mid-range. And he's an incredible passer. To me, this looks more like a Tyrese Haliburton type of archetype. But would you say Chris Paul is a superstar? I personally wouldn't say so. He's an all-star, but he isn't a superstar. Well, hold on. One could make the argument Chris Paul has never performed at this level during the playoffs. And I'd have to say, yes, I agree. I mean, hitting 4 game winners, series after series after series, first round, second round, Eastern Conference Finals, and now in the NBA Finals, it's got to mean something, right? And so that's where you get takes like this.
If you judge a fish by its ability to climb a tree, it too will live its whole life believing it's stupid. I do not want to judge Tyrese Haliburton by his ability to score points. Because if we judge Tyrese Haliburton by his ability to score points, we will live Tyrese Haliburton's whole career believing that he's not a superstar player. I think you got to judge Haliburton like you judge a fish by his ability to swim. Haliburton's ability to get everybody else involved. 14, 10, and 6 when the 10 was actually rebounds and the 6 was dimes. That's how I want to judge Haliburton.
This is a take I could never agree on because you're basically moving the goalpost to fit a player that you enjoy. And that's not fair. If every time you've mentioned somebody's a superstar, he has to drop at least 20 points per game, he has to perform a certain way for a certain amount of time, efficiently and consistently, Tyrese Haliburton wouldn't fit in that mold. So either all those other players that we've deemed superstars in the past are better than superstars, or Tyrese is not a superstar. But how about we change the parameters again? Let's look at players who have made a bunch of buzzer beaters in this exact same playoffs. Look at a guy like Aaron Gordon of the Denver Nuggets.
Zubats is on him. And this is for the win.
Oh! It's close. They're going to call it.
Did he beat the buzzer? Did Gordon beat the buzzer?
And then Aaron Gordon against the Thunder in Game 1.
Westbrook, 5 seconds. They're down by 1. Gordon got it.
And then Aaron Gordon again against the Thunder to tie it and push it to overtime.
Wide open Gordon for the tie. Got it.
I mean, hey, he had the same amount of buzzer beaters as Tyrese Haliburton in these playoffs. The only difference is the Denver Nuggets didn't make it past round 2. Aaron Gordon for the regular season, 14.7 points per game, 4.8 rebounds per game, 3.2 assists, 53.1 field goal percentage. And then if you line that up beside a guy like Tyrese Haliburton, 18.6 points per game, 3.5 rebounds per game, 9.2 assists per game, and 47.3 field goal percentage. Tyrese does score more than Aaron Gordon. He has about double the assists. He has less rebounds, but he's worse in efficiency when it comes to field goals. And now let's talk about the playoffs, because that's what everybody's basing their Tyrese Haliburton selection on. So Tyrese Haliburton for the playoffs, 18.5 points per game, 9.5 assists per game, 5.9 rebounds per game, 46% from the field. Again, if you look at Mr. Aaron Gordon's stats, in the playoffs this season, 16.2 points per game, 2.7 assists per game, 7.6 rebounds per game, 48% from the field. I mean, these stats are pretty similar, and I don't see anybody calling Aaron Gordon a superstar. The Indiana Pacers had the luxury of not playing the Oklahoma City Thunder in the second round of the playoffs. And let's talk about playoff risers, because that seems to be what Haliburton is, a playoff riser. All season, his stats were not incredible. In the second half, he was better than the first, but he was not any superstar level type of player. And in these playoffs, for most of the games, including the last game versus the Thunder, he did not look like a superstar. Far from it. And if you look at his finished stats, he had 14 points. If you swap that stat line with SGA, Jason Tatum, LeBron James, Luka Doncic, or any other player that you classify as a superstar, the entire NBA world would be on Twitter complaining about this guy's a bum. So why are we moving and shifting the parameters just to fit Tyrese Haliburton? That doesn't make any sense. But let's look at one more comparison, Mr. Jamal Murray. I remember being on Reddit and asking, why hasn't Jamal Murray ever made an All-Star game? And most people came back to me with a valid answer, saying in the regular season, he doesn't really show up, but in the playoffs, he's a riser. And that description kind of feels like Tyrese Haliburton right now. I mean, in this very same playoffs, Jamal Murray had 21.8 points per game, 4.9 rebounds per game, 5.2 assists, and shooting 44% from the field. Again, you wouldn't say that this guy is a superstar. Playoff riser? Yes. A great player? Yes. Maybe even deserved an all-star nomination. But a superstar? No. If we are going to create these parameters around what a superstar is, and every other player we seem to be thinking so clearly, no matter how good of a game they're having, no matter how many buzzer beaters Aaron Gordon had, whether it's 1, 2, or 3, in the same playoffs. I think we need to double back a bit with our expectations of Tyrese Haliburton. We're kind of buying really high on these recent emotions. However, he is on an incredible hot streak. He looks amazing doing it. And who knows, maybe he continue. Maybe the Pacers win a championship. That would be incredible. And that would definitely add to the story and to the validation of him being in the superstar conversation. But as of right now, we're overdoing it. But because of the way he plays, because he disappears, because he doesn't give you everything on offense, because he's not a great defender, even though he's not terrible, I know it's unpopular opinion, but Tyrese Haliburton is not a superstar. Not right now, anyways. I think people are just a bit too high on Tyrese Haliburton at the moment. But let me know what you think in the comments below. Please like, share, and subscribe. And until next time.